your most powerful ability in the game acquired, the run is going to get quite a bit more crazy very soon.
It's absolutely massive, Toadette. Grips just took a few deaths getting sent back to that safety state.
I heard you guys like lore, right? Well, we have go fast left, we have go fast up with enemy, we have go fast down, and now we have go fast up without enemy. Charge jump acquired.
Hello everyone and welcome to this Sunday full of Ori action. We will have both semifinals here today, starting first with Rin versus Laster, seed number 1 versus seed number 5. And my name is Tukil, and joining on commentary for this match will be Turtle. How are you doing?
I am up bright and early in the morning in my time zone and absolutely ready for a phenomenal day of some of the highest quality, highest class Ori we have ever seen.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
This is the Old Skills Tournament 2022, and just as a disclaimer, this match has happened on Thursday. We're currently watching a replay of both sides, so both runners have already run, and it has already been decided who moves on to the finals. So don't get confused when you see Rin as both the runner and the restreamer. Everything is fine. He's not doing double duty at the same time. But yeah, with that, let's have a look at both our runner stats. With only the one bracket that we have, it of course means that both runners have won every single match so far they have faced in the bracket. And both are very high level runners, aren't they, Turtle?
Oh, absolutely. As you can see by their seeds, seed 5, Luster, and seed number 1, Rin. And though they have defeated every opponent so far in the tournament stage, we did have some preliminaries that they were in together. In those, they were in 7 different preliminaries together. Rin actually managed to win all 7, though not by a lot, including one of them where he only squeezed in front of Luther by 2 seconds. So these runs could go either way, super close. I'm hoping that we get some insane like that 2-second finish in the preliminary.
Yeah, definitely. That would be super high. But you can also see how experienced both runners are. Rin with number 3 on the Old Skills leaderboard, and Laster with a bajillion of other categories under his belt. So both know exactly what to do in every scenario of this game. And both have also prepared for this match. We only have some pre-recorded thoughts of Rin, who said he was feeling a bit out of the loop, maybe didn't feel the game quite as he wanted to, and he also learned in the match against Sirius that he has a case of the nerves, especially in game 1. So he's hoping to just go through smoothly and hopefully be able to keep the nerves under control. And also mentioned that he is or was watching Laster on his side during some longer cutscenes, so he might be aware. But with that, we're switching now to the race itself. So good luck to both runners. Disabling the debug menu, very important, don't want to accidentally activate that. And let's go.
Yep, here we go. The start of this race. Again, it's already happened, but conveniently, neither Tukil or I have seen this race or the results from it. It's been verified by other of the tournament moderators. So we don't know what's coming up. Just as much as none of you know what's going up. It's going to be an exciting race for all of us, just as if it is live, basically. And already we can see that just through these tiny optimizations in their jumping, that Rin has already taken a very, very slight lead. We'll see if he can hold that slight lead for the rest of 30 plus minutes, potentially. So.
Yeah, lead at that stage, of course, doesn't say too much. takes the hit from the Rhino, but that of course does not matter as we're going to pick up Sign that will refill all our resources. Turning off the UI so we don't actually have to listen to said Sign, because Sign is just annoying in that category. We just want to click through the text as quickly as possible, and what is quicker than not having any text, right? So now with Sign acquired, some scrolling on both sides to kill those Fromkies without a problem, no stopping on either side, smooth sailing. Map doesn't even really show, and we are on further into Waldsenke and continue towards the first Keystone door.
Yep. And with Sign, our runners can aggro enemies like slimes from far away to change their attack patterns. They're going to be breaking these brambles as fast as possible and trying to target specific brambles that they don't break the ones on the top of the stack that they don't actually need to break. They can just walk under them. So even with just Sign and jumping, there's so much to think about and to do for these top tier runners. Every single second is another thing that they have to remember, that they have to do. As well, they have to factor in every EXP orb that they're getting or missing throughout this early segment, which can be a little crazy in how they drop sometimes. So hopefully we won't see anything too bad like missing a level up, but our runners both have excellent knowledge of this game and of the EXP routing. So we will hopefully, again, not see any of that as they just know exactly what to do.
Yeah, and both runners showing that they know that this is a tournament and want to have that extra safety of getting that health cell, which I think loses 4 seconds in total or something like that. So definitely a heads-up play to just be able to survive a hit, especially in the late game. And Rin with the ninja jump to get over the cutscene trigger and a bit further, and really nicely done. Can continue, and XP is looking good on his side, on Lasse's side as well, so no problems as you mentioned there. And looks like we will get on both sides the level up on the way up, and it's just some optimizations as we head towards wall jump tree. Wall jump, of course, is kind of dreaded because wall jump also means you can jump on all the walls that aren't as they, or that are exactly as they look, and optimizing those wall jumps can be a lot of trouble as well. So as you mentioned before, even though the tricks might seem easy, it is very much to think about, and our runners making sure that they are spacing them as efficiently as possible.
Mm-hmm. And both runners getting to that first skill tree with a pretty good time, especially considering that they both went and got that out-of-the-way extra health cell. This split is one that everyone in the community has run quite a few times and reset to quite a few more. So being able to just keep your guard up through this, not get triggered and destroyed by the slimes who will snipe you if you're not careful. And they still have to keep it up because we're going all the way back through these very spiky, slimy areas. Again, not a ton of damage in the early game, especially with that extra health, but like, come on, it's so annoying to just get hit by one and then you're slightly behind and then you mess up another one and it can just spiral from there. But both of our runners are avoiding that, thank goodness, as we are going, well, to another slime-filled area next, Blackroot Burrows.
Yeah, Blackroot Burrows is of course the most favorite area of every single speedrunner, with a lot of auto-scrollers, just what everyone needs in their speed game. But with that, we will skip all the dialogue again and just ignore the lore. There is lore in this game, yes, believe it or not, there is some lore in this game, but our runners definitely don't want to show that as that is slow. And Rin showing the Schwarzwurzelgänge, playing in the, well, most optimal language, because every language is most optimal. And both runners heading down. Rin really keeping that advantage and even capitalizing on it just shows again how much of a good runner he is. And so he is heading up to grab that XP orb. And we are gonna see pause floats.
Yep, this is a relatively newly discovered strat, and Luster has been showing it off in several tournament races so far, I believe, where when you open up the menu like this and change difficulty repeatedly, your fall velocity is reset to 0. So basically you can hover in the air by repeatedly using that. And he got it very, very well. It is now actually, because of it, taken what looks like a slight lead. He does need to go grab a little bit more experience, as we're going to see with some more pause floats, and that will probably let Rin take it back. But these strategies are both very comparable when executed well.
Oh!
And, up until then, I might have jinxed it there. Lester was optimizing that pause floating very, very well, but it's a hard trick. No kidding.
Yeah, it's a hard trick, and just the fact that Rin isn't consistently going for it shows how hard it really is. And Lester trying to go for it again, really determined to put up with that trick. But I can imagine that might be a good hit onto nerves for him as well, especially taking another death, setting him back even more, as Rin is almost at dash tree now. But yeah, the determination is there, and he's just going to show us this trick. I think he is aware that Rin is the more experienced and faster runner, so might just want to show off some nice tricks. But got it this time. Didn't catch the cycle, unfortunately. Whereas Rin on his side now didn't quite get the right position, or wasn't quite happy with it, so reloading and now getting dash tree. Will have to do some blind movement, so hopefully will not land in the same pit that Lester did before, and continue on to Frankie Walk. And yes, the camera pans correctly, so good luck on that. The XP is properly set up.
Lester, on his side, does get the pause floats. He is now all the way through that upper section of Black Root. Got the experience leveled up, but is still in a position to level up again immediately afterwards for the trick that Rin is doing right now, Frankie Walk, where we're going to take this Frankie. His name is Billy, by the way. I love all of the named animals in this game. We take Billy over here, and we kill him and eat his experience, level up in order to get 2 more energy to get through this 4 energy door. This trick saves so much time over going the intended route with Charge Flame Tree, and Rin is doing a magnetless version, does get it very, very nicely, and that will allow him to sort of sequence break into this later mid-game area of Moon Grotto and Gumo's Hideout, where he will be moving towards the double jump tree.
Yeah, and Lester also now finally getting to that dash tree will be probably very happy. Rin saving after the death gauntlet, so does not need to worry about taking a death. Let's see if he can get God Cycle here with some manipulation of his movement. He can squeeze into these crushes, makes it look easy. This is absolutely not free. Gains 8 seconds if Lester doesn't get it, but Lester now onto his way of Frankie Walk. So yeah, about 1 Frankie Walk and Death Gauntlet apart right now, as Rin is heading towards double jump tree and going to collect that and make wall jump even more optimizable and even harder to do optimally.
Yeah. And we do know from our truck that it is a 1 minute and 13 second difference at dash, which definitely seems like it is quite a bit. In fact, it is, for the early game especially. But Lester has come back from similar deficits in previous tournament races, specifically against Promorix, because the late game especially can be very, very punishing. Right now, our runners are able to take some damage boosts, as Rin just showed us.
Lester unfortunately didn't get all the energy into the door, dropped down a bit and didn't quite catch everything to go into the door, so has to repeat Frankie Walk. I do believe that at this point his nerves are hit pretty badly, because having your run go badly in the early game can really snowball into a bad run, so hopefully he can recover and gain back some confidence, and as he is a very experienced runner, definitely capable of a great run. But yeah, Rin so far has really not shown any troubles with this run at all, so pulls ahead quite significantly, and hopefully Lester this time, this position looks better, gets all the energy in, but now needs to survive Death Gauntlet as well, so gets through, gets under the Frankie and onto the brambles. Oh, is going for Death Glide. Okay, got it. Easy peasy, no problem, and now got his energy. With another pause float, will get into the main part of Grotto as well, just as Rin is about to leave it, and Gandalf did not let him pass.
That was very nearly a high five. Great to see, because this area, especially of the game, with the way that it's all very, very connected, and there's so many trees on this side, we will be seeing some of these areas like that three-way split with the lasers in it, usually with the lasers in it. I believe 3 times throughout the run, going in every single direction of that Y split. So knowing these areas, knowing how to optimally move through them, with wall jump only, with wall jump and double jump, with wall jump, double jump, and bash, like that area in particular is very, very good for our runners to know how to navigate through. And Rin has done a phenomenal job of this pretty technical enter Ginso split, as he will make his way to the tree in under 11:30. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, just the amount of mistakes he made, and still to have such a great time is enormous, in my opinion. Rin now entering Ginso tree, going to utilize that double jump to a bit of another degree than Lester is right now, who still will have to struggle with the grotto walls. But yeah, with that, I do think, yeah, that's a 2 minutes and 15 seconds difference. So with how much Rin has been showing off so far, that would definitely require a huge mistake on his side for Lester to make up, who gets grotto skip first try, does get the baguette jump also first try, so at least his French honor is saved in this run, as Rin is solving this very difficult puzzle right now. And we get to admire some double jumps on the side of Lester.
I mean, the puzzle's actually not all that difficult, but we don't even do it the way it's supposed to be done. It's faster to just use the same block multiple times, and that is exactly what Rin and Lester eventually will do. As after that is the part that does require quite a bit more thinking and skill. This mini-boss, Rin absolutely demolishes with only Sign as our form of attack. That can be a very long mini-boss with some random spawns, but Rin absolutely obliterates it with just quick flame and very, very good mashing. So very quickly through that, and we'll be heading now up. One more keystone door in between him and the bash tree.
Yeah, the most powerful ability in the game. Doesn't quite have the right amount of HP, so needs to take 2 times the spikes. Gets it so that Ghost Door still saved some time, but with that has now bash acquired and can go further up the Ginso tree, as Lester is just about to enter. It will just need to get the teleporter, and you might have noticed that both runners didn't take that ability cell near the teleporter, which means that we will see some crazy juggle on either side, as Rin is taking that shot to break the wall, and Lester is ducking under the stone to dash through it, because turns out you can do that. And yeah, the one person is kind of almost at the exit, and the other person is entering the tree. So you see kind of the difference, but nothing a bad Misty Death couldn't almost make up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Rin does need to spend a little bit more time in the tree right now. Just did a key dupe, because this is one of the easiest and fastest locations in this route that we are able to do that. And so we get 3 extra keystones here, so that we do not need to think about getting all of them in a swamp, especially with poisoned water. And one more that we use for Sorrow, because that's a very spiky and dangerous area that we also would rather just like to get through as fast as possible. So those 3 keystones will come in very handy later, and Lester will be doing the same trick of the key dupe once he gets up there. But he's now made it a few rooms in as Rin is exiting. So not the full length of the Ginso tree between them, but it's kind of much of the tree.
Yeah, especially since we're not going all the way up, of course. But with that, Rin is rapidly approaching the next big skip of the game, because we didn't clean the water. We need to find a creative way into Swamp, so he will take Ringo for a journey. Saves us, places a save, because Ringo tends to be magical sometimes and just doesn't want to cooperate. But with some double bashes, frame perfect trick, working every single time he's getting through, just as Lester is... never mind, first shot didn't hit. Lester with the slower method of attacking that mini-boss also. I think that were 5 cycles, but I'm not too sure about that. Also gets through, just lost a minor time It's a minor time to that compared to Rin, and can now also get to the door towards Bash. So you can see that it's about a 1 tree difference right now, as Rin is about to get to his Strum tree.
Rin did take a little bit of a death there, but not super major time loss, as he set up a save just before the Keystone door so he could get hyperspeed through it. So that let him basically respawn right next to where the pool of water he died in. So not a major time loss for him. Lester will definitely be needing a little bit bigger of time losses from Rin in order to fully catch up here. But anything does help if it adds up over time. So hopefully Rin isn't feeling any nerves, as we know Lester was earlier, but he has definitely seemed to be getting back into the swing of things. So hopefully this will come down a little bit and we can see a very close finish.
Yeah, and it can't be understated how incredible it is to bounce back after such a start, because it is one of these speed games that has a tendency to snowball, especially if you have a bad start. So props to Lester to catch back up, as Rin took Ringo into spikes, but now got through and got the ability cell, so no problems there. And let's see if there's anything to see on his side, as we're... Oh, there's a death. That's one thing that Lester definitely needs. We'll need to juggle Ringo again. This is... but gets it a second time just as Lester is going to exit the tree. So, got through and is placing the safety save now. So let's see if we see anything. And we do not. There's nothing to see there, of course.
Yeah, no one's ever seen anything there. It's just, there's no lore in this game. There's no problems. Rin does take another dip in the water. Seems to be maybe a little bit magnetically attracted to the poison right now, considering how many times he's taken a little bit of a dip. But this one will not kill... Oh, I spoke too soon. It actually will take him out, as he goes for a damage boost that he didn't actually have the health for. So does get set back quite a ways again. Maybe even bringing down his lead. Still not enough to tie it up, but definitely looking a little bit maybe nervous or frazzled right now with those several swims, leading to just a couple deaths here and there, but will make it past the spikes this time as he saves and will be heading towards the Charge Flame tree through a wall, as Lester is heading to the Stomp tree through a door.
Yeah, and while we were talking about Rin, Lester just managed to get a first try, no problem, swamp entry with double bashes, and now showing off with more double bashes. Each of them is a 1-frame window, so props to Lester for managing to do as many in a row. This is incredible, as Rin is setting up his save anywhere to skip a very long cutscene and head into the Valley of the Wind, where, well, with now the upgrades of Dash available, the run will get a lot more crazy very quickly. And yeah, Lester definitely on a tour right now to make up that time he lost earlier, but seems to still be a far way gone. So at Stomp it was about 2.5 minutes, but of course Rin lost some time since there, so it's a bit less than that, but still a significant lead, as both runners are double bashing some frogs. What did those poor frogs do to the runners?
Frogs in this game are not your friends. They will phase shots through floors. They will snipe you from a million miles away. They deserve everything that's coming to them, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and Rin setting up for fast stomplers. I will not comment on whether that shot hit or not, because it is impossible to tell, and whenever you do want to tell, you predict it wrongly. Opens DSA, recently found tech, saves about the time to get to the teleporter and open your menu there. So good time save, while minor, something that he is aware of. And Lester almost got the cutscene skip. Was trying to set up the shot to go over the floor and never touched the floor to not activate this cutscene. Didn't quite get it, but his double bashes. Can I steal some of that consistency?
Yeah, no kidding. Pretty much as soon as he got into the Bash tree, his splits have just been insanely clean, basically never dropping a double dash since he got Bash. While Rin has dropped a few here and there. Luster also going for more insane double dash strats, like we saw with the Fish Stomp tree. So that could definitely make up some amount of time. The question will be, is it going to make up enough time to catch up to Rin, who's already through Sorrow Bash up into Sorrow Pass and is starting his Sea Juggle to take this other frog up with him. Oh, he does damage the frog, but luckily for us, there's a backup frog. We can just phase through a laser, and this frog will be our friend, as long as we don't accidentally kill it as well. But Rin is now starting the backup Sea Juggle, and yep, there it is. The frog is now up on the platform. He will be using that frog to break the ceiling and rocket jump up to get the Sunstone.
In the meantime, Luster getting bullied by another frog, but got up this time, so also making his way into Valley without a lot of problems besides that frog, so can also defeat the bird boss hopefully without any problems. Yep, that just got stomped on as Rin is activating the Sunstone cutscene, or we're either skipping it, because again, Lore is our enemy, and with 1 energy is going to go to Charge Jump Tree. I was about to say to Misty, but of course he will need to acquire the Charge Jump Tree. Has that 1 energy to go through the Gold Store, so now can get that tree without a problem and will then head into Misty. Whereas Luster is showing a different variant of this trick to hopefully land next to Feather to have a little less. Doesn't quite land exactly on there, but will save. Oh, never mind. That is spot on.
Yeah, this trick is so strangely bizarre. In fact, everything surrounding Fast Novelist tends to be a little bit weird, just in the way that we have to manipulate the spider shot, deload rocks, and then this new trick, which lets you basically position yourself on top of the feather or save during it. It's so intricate and unique, and every runner can do it slightly differently with their setups and with everything. So seeing both of them get through well is amazing.
Do you see what he's doing?
I don't want to see what he's doing because it scares me very, very much.
He will be taking that save anywhere all the way to Sunstone, which also means he's going to do Sea Juggle behind it, which we already saw that it is a hard trick. Rin had some troubles with it, so behind the save anywhere, I can assure you it's not easier. But what seems easy is Misty on the side of Rin, but yeah, that frog is still alive, so Luster going through without a problem. Oh my god. Yeah, he got it. That is the hard part. The rest is relatively easy, so hopefully can get to Sunstone without getting sniped by lasers. Gets the XP for his XP routing, and now... Wow! That madman.
I can't, like, my heart just stopped beating. Like, I couldn't see what was going on. He probably couldn't see all that much of what was going on, and still managed to do the entire Sea Juggle with the Save Anywhere menu up. Just incredible play. I am astounded. That's so phenomenal to see in a live race like this. Holy crap.
Yeah, that execution absolutely on point is now heading towards Sea Jump Tree, so over a tree advantage still on Rin's side, so unfortunately these minor time saves don't mean that Luster is catching up, but he is definitely showing off, and that is almost as important as winning, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We should definitely give out a trophy for whoever looks the most cool, and I don't know, right now Luster is really in the lead for that race because between the pause floats that pretty much only he does and that, it's just phenomenal execution of insane tricks. Might not win him the race, but will win him my heart.
Yeah, that is at least a swag win if I've ever seen one. Now a bit of a high five as Luster is entering Misty just as Rin is exiting it. So yeah, as mentioned before, this is definitely at this point there would have to be 32 dual warp attempts or some major problems in the final escape or in the last section of the game for Rin right now. Like for example going to the wrong side. but gets to the right side now and is heading towards Grenade Tree. Another long save anywhere. We will have to see if Lester does that one as well. He is looking at the torch cutscene and halfway through Misty pretty much, or well, not quite, halfway to the climb tree as Rin is making his way to Grenade Tree. Just some maneuvering around and into the cutscene we go. So we will get another almost synced tree animations, but of course still one tree advantage on Rin's side.
One tree happens to be in one of the darkest and spookiest places in the game. The other one happens to be bathed in a golden orange light. So very, very different places for our two runners to be. And that is actually Rin's final tree, giving him the skill of Grenade, which he immediately shows off the best use for, which is grenade jumping. Just absolutely zooming through this. He has every single possible skill he could want, and will be using them all to just charge dash, stomp cancel, grenade jump, rocket jump through straight to the final escape to cement his victory. There are only a few things really that stand in his way, those being the final G-jump, which can be tricky, and Door Warp, as you mentioned. But with a runner of Rin's caliber, it would be shocking to see too much of a misstep in that last stretch, because he's just shown off so incredible movement so far, and it's looking like he's got this one pretty much in the bag at this point.
Yeah, of course, this is a best of 3, so we will be broadcasting the other matches as well. But with that, oh, yeah, that safety save is always appreciated. Does not want to go for that grenade jump again. Does only have 1.5 energy though, so I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see warmth skip from Rin, which is a thing he usually does, but let's see. I'm not too sure how much energy you actively need for that, as Lester is making great work of his energy as well, using the Stomp to cancel the charge dash cost. And Rin does get his Door Warp, no problem, so no 30-second try, but Lester, where was that death? I do believe that was a death from Lester. I might be mistaken though, as Rin is now activating the final escape, and looks like, yeah, indeed, he did not do warmth skip, so taking it safe. He mentioned that he is watching, or was watching, Lester during the run, so is aware that he has a lead probably, and just going to play it safe. Even has the 6th health cell for a comfy swim, so shouldn't be too much trouble on that final escape, as Lester on his side is now demolishing the mini-boss and heading towards that door that we need to open in order for Misty to transform back. That on the left, Rin setting up for the final grenade jump, going into lower position. Yeah, that definitely went through. GG to him. Will take the victory on the first race and take 1-0 lead, as Lester is now heading towards his last race.
Yep. Still a phenomenal showing from both runners, but Rin absolutely proving that he deserves to be #1 seed and in the finals with that sub 30 time in a live race, with everything that could possibly happen happening. Well, maybe not everything, but a lot that could go wrong. And Rin just averted, managed his way around with pure skill, and will now be just holding a single button, walking Naru behind the tree to finish with a time 29:33. GG to Rin.
GG, amazing time, especially in a race setting, and especially considering that he did take some deaths that were fairly costly. But now Lester on his grenade tree, and with all the tricks he's been showing off, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of G-jumps happening as well. And maybe we will see a successful Horror Fields grenade jump from him as well, as he is heading out of this area by using that tremendous speed, going through the lasers absolutely no problem, using all the tech just available to him to go around as quickly as possible, and going towards the end of the game. Will now teleport back to Swamp and just Swamp and Toro Fields between him and the final escape as well.
Honestly, Tukil, I consider myself at least decent, but seeing these runners, all of the insane, crazy fast stomp cancels that they do, all of the extra G-jumps that they add when they pull off first try, it's phenomenal to watch. They have perfect energy management, they have perfect tech for exactly what is the fastest route in each little area. It's just mind-boggling to me. And we are going to see, yes, the G-jump straight through Horror Field, no hesitation, gets the Terra Jump 2 to keep that speed going almost all the way to the Horu door. Just wonderful, wonderful showing off of his skills for Luster here.
Yeah, that is the most satisfying grenade jump to watch, or at least one of the most satisfying ones. So let's see if the satisfaction continues. No, does not get first try door warp. Second try? No, this trick does get harder after the first try, so it could take him some while before getting it. But this saves a tremendous amount of time, so now is through. That definitely saved a solid chunk. So we'll activate his final escape, and he has the energy to perform Warmth Skip. So we'll start the final cutscene and then quit back to menu to restore that information and move behind the cutscene, hopefully. Yeah? No? That still didn't work. It is a game storage trick, so also very precise to pull off. And yeah, he's showing off at this point.
And then even when he gets it, or if you were to get it, there's still quite a bit of blind movement that you have to do afterwards in rooms with falling rocks that do damage that you can't take, in rooms with lava that insta-kills you. So just even attempting that is an insane show of skill and confidence in yourself, especially at the end of a live race like this. But we'll instead just be opting to watch the little tiny short cutscene of Kuro swooping down, and with that out of the way, we'll now be making his way to the end of the escape. He does only have 5 health here as he skipped the health cell in Horror Fields, so he needs to get some good bashes off of these fish. Oh, and he does make it. His up has skipped the trigger for the Kuro kill plane, and will be setting up for his own final grenade jump. There it is, no hesitation, gets through, looks good, and will be ending off his seed very shortly. GG to Luster.
Yeah, GG finishing within, well, 4 minutes, maybe a bit more, of his opponent. Does unfortunately mean that he lost his first game, but that is a best of 3 after all, so if Leicester manages to pull a victory on both of the following matches, then he still has a chance to go on to the grand finals. But Rin definitely with the advantage here, not only execution-wise and time-wise, but also now with the victory of the first game. And that is a 33-38 on Leicester's side. GG to him. Hopefully both runners can recover from their run and mentally reset, as both had some troubles. But with that, we will go into a short break. Of course, this has been pre-recorded. We're just broadcasting these matches right now. But we will still take a 10-minute break to give all of you a chance to freshen up and have a change of commentators, because the next race will also be commentated by Turtle, but Turtle will be joined by Richard.
Yeah, so make sure to stay tuned. I'm going to rest my... and you guys can all grab snacks and drink, and we'll be back in a little less than 10 minutes, so stay tuned for more Ori action. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to match 2 of the semifinal Rin versus Luster matchup. We just came off of a very exciting game 1 that Rin did take by about 4 minutes, but at the same time, both runners showing off incredible movement tech, incredible speed, and anything can still happen with game 2 and possibly game 3. So I will once again be commentating this match. My name is Turtle. And
and I am Zemsis. Guten Tag, everyone. No, I'm Richard.
Yeah, Zem has had something come up, but we do have quite a spectacular another voice to take his place as we are going into this game 2. Once again, if you missed last race, this is pre-recorded, but neither of us know the outcome of this race, so we're just restreaming it fresh and live with commentary so that we can get the full experience of a proper tournament race.
And chat is live as well, so spam your emotes for either Rin or Luster. Whoever you want to win this second game, be sure to put all of your excitement and baguettes into this chat right now.
Yep, we definitely know that both of them are French from last race. They both nailed baguette on first try, but if either of them fails, I don't know. That's definitely going to be a loss of their French card at the very least.
Yeah, and bon chance to both of these runners here. Left, you can see our restreamer Rin is going to be playing there. Maybe starting a little bit late. Probably too busy restreaming. And Luster on the right side here, going to be getting started with the run.
And there we go. There's no such thing as a tournament without technical difficulties, but we are back in it, very synced up as we start over the game with no skills, no abilities, just all of it to go ahead of us. Another 30 minutes of phenomenal play as both runners will compete. Rin to advance to the finals with
taking a dip in the water there, showing his dominance, being like, all right, I just won that first race. I'm going to give myself a second race just to make it a little bit better.
Rin definitely hugged the water a few times in the last race too, so maybe it's a curse at this point. He's just so thirsty, so dehydrated that he needs the water, even if it's not clean.
Exactly. Now they are collecting their first of the skills here in Spirit Flame. So now we're going to be seeing what they do in the early game and see if anything in the last race affected them mentally, because again, Luster had a little bit of a shaky last race there.
Although speaking of shaky starts, Rin did just take the dip in the water, though Luster did just take a bit of a damage from spikes there too, so both runners are maybe a little still nervous showing it, but keeping calm as best they can.
Rin staying down there a little bit longer to destroy another spore there, just wanting to get that in before going to Blackroot Burrows, clearly.
And will take the lead again as Luster looked like he grabbed a health pickup. Just some random chance to waste time. Thanks, Glades. We absolutely love to waste random time in this speedrun, but it won't matter hopefully too much in the end. Just a couple of seconds here and there from pickups and randomness, because there's so much skill in this game going forward, as we saw last game, and hopefully you'll see this game. But they will be having a little bit of buffer if their skill falters in the form of this extra health cell early on.
Yeah, as we see from the previous race as well, opting to go for that safety over the time save of getting the fourth health cell early. I do think that is a good idea in a race, because there is just so much variance in this game in terms of, you mess up one key press and you're dead. Like that is a very dangerous situation to put yourself in when you're at 3 health. So getting a little bit of extra safety, I think, for both of these runners is going to not only, help them mentally, but, just actually when there is a situation that happens, it'll actually save them in the end.
Yeah, and especially when our runners are at this high a level racing each other, they have to use all of their energy in the fastest way possible. That's typically charge dashing, which means safety saves are going to be pretty hard to come by. So any damage with 3 health in the late game will kill you, and just that little bit of extra hopefully will be able to save them, as we saw maybe a little bit last race with neither of them having major trouble to the late game. It was the early game that definitely seemed a little bit more problematic.
Yeah, and we'll see if both of them having a solid early game will help them with their mentality going into the later parts, because, you know, we've seen time and time again in this tournament, when you take 1 death, you end up taking like 4 or 5 deaths. It ends up kind of wearing on you, and you end up with a couple of situations where, you know, you kind of get in your own mind, and, you know, tilt is something that affects all runners, so, you know, hopefully that doesn't impact these 2 runners here.
We did just see Luster take a little bit of extra damage from spikes, but he had the forethought to check his health. He knew that he was still able to make it through that typical damage boost with the slime. Now only has 1 health left, but did place a safety save just in case, so he'll probably even get through this area fine.
Benefits of that 4th health cell already coming in here in this race. Meanwhile, Rin going to be going into Blackroot Burrows here, going to be starting the Save Anywhere to get into the Blackroot Burrows area. Going to be leveling up, getting into the Blackroot Burrows area right now.
And the choices that our runners make early on definitely can matter, as we saw last time with Rin going Quick Flame. Typically the faster skill, but can make doing something like Frankie Walk a bit more challenging. Whereas Luster, I believe, went Magnet and had a little bit of slower fight in Ginso later on. So the levels that they're, well, the abilities that they choose, even at this early level, will affect their gameplay very much later on. But even with the minor differences of that, they're basically right on top of each other right now. Very much closer than we saw in the last game. Though pause floats are about to come up. Oh, or Luster might be deciding not to do them. As cool of a trick as they are very risky, as we saw. Taking this lower route a little slower, but a little safer. A lot safer, in fact.
And here we see Rin going up here and going to be making this cycle platforms. Luster going to be waiting to get up here as well.
And, ooh, Luster.
Oh, Luster, yeah, unfortunately having to go back to that platform there, as we saw. Carrying
the orb is definitely very slow, and if you don't have to, you don't want to, but those platforms can just disappear without it. And in that case, you do just have to fall all the way to the bottom with no platform below you. So Luster managing to save himself there will get the pause float up to this 100 EXP very nicely to set up for his EXP routing. And we'll do one more pause float there just to get over here nicely, not losing too much time to the strats that he might not be as familiar with, taking the bottom route there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you know, we can see Rin getting a little bit of padding here due to those cycle flubs from Luster. So, you know, Rin taking an early lead here, it does not mean too much. There is still plenty of race to go, but definitely, as we had heard from Rin in the previous race, you know, Rin's watching Luster during cutscenes, so just knowing you have the security of a lead does help with your mentality a little bit, and, you know, it just means that, you know, you can take it a little bit easy, know that if you make some small mistakes, you can still maintain that.
And then knowing that you're behind, on the other hand, can be very challenging. Luster, against the #1 seed, probably knows that it's going to be an uphill battle, but he's pulled out some insane strats, possibly because of that, like we saw in the last race with the Save Anywhere Seed Juggle, to potentially save just a little bit more time against an opponent that might be playing more conservatively, thinking that they're in the lead.
Yeah, now we have Quick Flame Frankie Walk here from Rin, so going to have to kill this Frankie here and gather the XP while staying close to it. Very nicely done. Going to be dashing twice here, get across the water, and go into the Death Gauntlet to get this health cell. And with Quick Flame, it makes these a lot easier to destroy. So very nicely done from Rin. Going to be going here. Nice pause float there to get over to the side there, climb up, and going into the early grotto cycle. Let's see if Rin gets it.
trick is so impossibly tight. There's a reason we call it God Cycle. And Rin, of course, absolutely nails it. Just as on Luster's screen, he nails Frankiwak, getting through with Magnet, making it a little bit easier to just get that energy up to him, or get the experience up to him. But he will also be doing, the Crusher Dash. He falls but stays
That was
alive thanks to
scary.
that extra health.
Incredible. Luster still alive through that death fight, so very nicely done.
Yeah, there's a reason we call it Death Gauntlet, and it is because you will die there as you learn this game. You have very little health, and a lot of things will be attempting to kill you. But both runners making it through, even if they gave the commentators a heart attack, perhaps. And Luster also manages to get God Cycle. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is a good race so far. Luster not losing, too much time after that Black Root Burrows flubbing, and now going to be making the path to double. No save. Oh, Luster. That is a very unfortunate death right at the Keystone door. Unfortunately, not placing that save down prior to dying, and missing the early Grotto cycle as well. That's going to set Luster behind. Probably a little bit frustrated there. I don't know what that menu is for. Maybe a little bit of frustration setting in because, that is... honestly, that's not a death you see every day. Like, you not die there very, very often.
Yeah, or at least you don't die without placing a save.
Yeah.
Does manage to get it this time for that very quick Ghost Door. But just has fallen a little bit behind in this grotto area from Rin, as Rin is now at the top of Gumo's hideout, making his way up. Again, these walls are very slippery, and Rin makes them look like cakewalk with all the wall and double jumps that he's doing. Hopefully we'll see Luster do the same, just navigating these walls very, very well, as they both are heading up to enter Ginso on the same split.
Yeah, and at the double jump tree, Luster... is a minute and 20 seconds behind Rin, and that is incredibly scary when you're facing off against the #1 seed and Luster taking another death there. This is going to be a pretty quick one, but again, onto those compounding deaths. When you die once, your mentality gets shot a little bit, and you end up making a couple mistakes here and there, and that could end up costing Luster a lot of time and potentially the race.
Although we did see him have quite a few mistakes last race, and then immediately come back and get some insane tricks in the late game, but it wasn't enough that time. And well, he did just get baguette jump amazingly. So both of our runners still are indeed French. He is once again behind, not as much, but we'll have to see how well he can perform in the late game if he can catch up this race as well.
And meanwhile, Rin is getting up the Ginso tree here. Very nicely done. Getting into the tree, and we'll see how many mistakes Rin makes. Again, with the beginning of this getting into Ginso, there's the potential that Rin took a look over at Luster's stream and saw how behind Luster was. So, if you're in a race like this, and the finals are on the line, it's potential that Rin could take a lot of safety here and really lock up this race going forward.
Yeah, being able to watch your opponent is definitely something that you can work on, because this game does not have a lot of downtime, especially if we skip cutscenes everywhere. But Rin is managing to do what he can to keep an eye on his fellow racer, and is using that advantage, that knowledge very, very well. Just making sure to be safe as, Luster does take another death, just trying to dash as fast as he can. Unfortunately, there were some big crusher spikes in his way. Does have a safety save, not too far behind, but that is just a little bit more time loss now that Rin will have as a lead.
Going over to Bash now. Rin going to be taking some damage here and going to be getting this Ghost Door once it collects all the keystones, and then going to Bash. And this is just over a 13-minute Bash for a race that is, a very good time if you're, looking to get a good race time here.
And again,
Now
Bash,
Luster just entering the tree now, so this is a pretty big lead here for Rin.
and Bash allows for a lot more different tech, especially with double bashing. But double bashing can lead to time loss if it just drops, which can happen kind of at random. We did see last race that Rin was a little bit safe with his attempts at not doing some of the harder double bash chains that Luster definitely did go for. Definitely got pretty accurately.
Oh, Rin. trying to dupe there, unfortunately getting a little bit off, so had to take that a little bit careful just to make sure that you get that dupe. We're making it through here, going to be going into the mini boss though, and then going to be going into swamp entry. So, you know, as we see on Luster's screen, oh, took a damage there actually, Luster. Yeah, had to be a little bit careful there as well. But, you know, again, having that extra health, probably a little bit of security for Luster as you make it through the Ginso tree. So, not too bad there. And, yeah, Rin going to take this teleport and heading into get stomped.
And I would like to note, Luster, with that little extra damage he took, might have been low on health, but having Magnet over Quick Flame meant that he could grab an extra health from a plant through a floor. Just that little extra knowledge, remembering that that's something that Magnet can do, let him play just as fast as he normally would through that section of the Ginso tree. Though again, it's very fast, but might not be as fast as Rin, who is attempting swamp entry. Ringo being
hit.
very rude.
All
Will he
right.
get the double dash? Yes, this time he will. First try. Maybe Ringo hitting him in the face just made him all that more steeled his nerves for
Yeah.
the double dash.
Alright, Rin gonna be going up here and gonna be just doing a normal bash here, taking up the left side, not gonna be doing any double bashes up towards the stomp tree, and getting to stomp very cleanly. And we have synced tree animations here with Luster getting bash as Rin gets stomp. Unfortunately, there is, you know, quite a bit of distance between them, but we'll see coming into the second half of this race how both of these players end up doing.
Luster with his crazy D-bashes and other tricks can definitely save time, but Rin with his very consistent play and knowledge of safety strats to pull off is definitely going to be very, very formidable to take down. As, yeah, he's already making his way back towards Ringo, pulling off some great bashes and angles with that very, very annoying frog. To get that, does manage to avoid the lasers, and will be making his way up. We're not going to see them high-five in this area, unfortunately, but maybe we'll see a little bit of that later.
A nice Kuro cutscene skip over on the left side from Rin, as Luster going to be going towards the mini-boss here in the Ginso tree. And Rin, we'll see if Rin goes for the double bashes here to skip this cutscene. Looks like Rin took the safety save though, so that is not too bad. Rin gonna be foregoing that this time and just opting to go for the rekindle skip here. You know, Rin probably taking a look over at Luster's screen, seeing how far behind Luster is, and is just saying, hey, I want to, you know, secure this victory. I'm just going to take the safe route here. And, you know, I don't disrespect that at all. That is a very wise choice from Rin.
Absolutely. This is the semifinals, so Luster making it here proves that he has a ton of skill and is a threat even to our #1 seed. So Rin being very, very knowledgeable and cautious as he skips through about halfway, maybe a little over halfway through this race. While Luster is on his own swamp entry, playing with Ringo. I believe he uses the double bash strat as well, so let's hope he can get those. Also takes a shot to the face.
Yeah, word from Rin in the truck, by the way, who's restreaming, trucking, playing, and basically doing everything. Rin was on PB pace, so tried it, and then after missing it once was like, all right, you know, maybe the PB is shot, and I'm just going to go for the win here. So, you know, Definitely respectable from Rin. If you're on PB pace, you know, you really want to try to secure that PB, but meanwhile, Rin is just going to be, you know, going for the win now, kind of just securing that victory and entering into the finals with safer strats. And, you know, that's something that, you know, is very important. I know Rin at the beginning of this tournament really wanted to practice for the win, and, you know, Rin really showing it.
Although Luster, again, not a slouch in any way, uses a different D-Bash chain in order to get up to Stomp that we saw last time, knowing both those strats and being able to execute them flawlessly. And then another D-Bash, just not a chain, but just one to save that little bit more time and a little bit more health to take a potential damage boost later. All these different strats with the D-Bash that Luster has just mastered, helping him catch up little bits of time, possibly, but at this point, Rin is playing it so very consistently and so very well, just nailing Fast Stompless, probably about to nail Sorrow Bash, if I don't jinx it, with his own... does miss the first double bash, recovers, gets the bird in proper position, second double bash. Okay, he is through. I did not jinx it. I'm so sorry, Rin.
You're close, though. You almost affected the past. You know, imagine that. Whilst they're going for Kuro cutscene skip, getting a very nice job there, and Rin going for C juggle here. We'll see how Rin does. Bringing the frog to the left, you want to make sure it avoids the spikes, and Rin doing a great job of that.
We did see last race, he hit the frog once, but this time, none of that. He will get the frog up there with just enough health to survive. Oh, but does damage the frog instead of...
Rin showboating here, showing off this lead that Rin has and just killing the frog, saying, hey, it doesn't matter. I'm still in the lead. I'm just going to go ahead and get this other frog here.
This backup frog has been getting a lot of love today. Good job, backup frog. We salute you for your valiant efforts.
All right,
Rin not actually going to take the rocket jump up. Probably not knowing exactly what the laser cycle would be. Blasting up with the speed of sound into a laser could be.
Rin, again, maybe even looking over, being like, I just want the win here. I'm just going to take it safe. And again, this is a very smart play. If you know you're ahead by this amount, if you take a couple of bad deaths, that could bring this race into a closer, more worrisome position for you. So, you know, Rin taking it safe here, I really agree with that move. It is a very smart move, great play from Rin.
Even as much of an advantage as he has, Luster is still moving through the beginning of the left side with more double bashes to be able to get up, using these frogs very well to just bash his way up. Will be doing Fast Stompless of his own. Hopefully that goes well. Again, both these runners very skilled, very practiced at that difficult trick. Bashes off of a dead bird.
That was so cool. That was really cool to see. Luster, you know, not short of showing us some impressive things, even being so far behind. That was really cool.
Zombies, definitely not only a thing that Ori can do, also a thing that enemies can do. Does Luster go a little bit far with his dash? Does need to get down fast enough. And looks like this time he will get it. Again, won't commentate on the angle because it is impossible to, as a commentator, see the angle. But he sets it up, and there we go. He does get it. Does drop a save anywhere for that new trick. We'll see how close he lands to Feather. But on the same time he's doing that, Rin is already into Misty.
Dash into the frog there. We'll see if Rin takes any safety saves here. Again, Misty is the place in the game where you can probably lose the most time. There's not a lot of places where, you know, unless you safety save, you'll lose time. Rin getting the save at the cutscene there, so very nicely done, locking in that time save for the first half of Misty and going towards the climb tree.
Oh my god, he's brushing every single spike, giving Ori a haircut, both left, right, and center, and still manages to make it through flawlessly. But on the other side of the screen, do you see what we're seeing again? I can't believe he's doing this.
You know, maybe this is just the comfort that Luster has going through here with these long save anywheres, doing C juggle behind this save anywhere. So, you know, we'll see how Luster does here. Rin, again, tearing through Misty Woods here as well. Ooh, Luster falling down a bit. And also getting the other frog.
That backup frog.
Rin at
so-
1 health,
so
by
useful.
the way. That 4th health coming in handy. Rin does have to be a little bit careful here because you cannot take another hit when you're 1 health, when everything deals 3. Taking a save here at the Keystone. I really like that move. Again, making sure you don't fall all the way back and having to do everything from the tree again.
But on the other side, Luster looked like he leveled up, which actually you need that level up in order to skip a very, very long cutscene at the Sunstone. That is the big danger of having that save anywhere open for so long, is that a single click basically can make you watch a cutscene, or in Luster's case, he just went back to a previous save knowing that, okay, the cutscene is ridiculously long, like a minute plus, basically. So even doing all of this movement over again, all of Sorrow Bash, could still be faster for him than having
Yeah,
to watch that ridiculous cutscene.
Unfortunately, that does sort of seal the deal here for Luster's fate in this tournament. Rin is just so incredibly far ahead. I don't think. Oh, Luster taking another death there at Sorrow Bash as well. You know, again, that frustration setting in probably for Luster. You know, losing a bunch of time like that is not something that any runner, you know, feels good about, especially when you're, you know, the 5th seed in the tournament here.
And birds just continue to be jerks, absolutely spoiling Luster's Sorrow Bash over and over again, just denying him the chance to keep moving, because these birds are so ridiculously finicky.
Rin
that-
at no energy here, going to be having to grab the energy to the left side here. Energy flew all the way to the left of it, so Rin having to go a little slow there, but going to be making it past this cutscene and into the Soul Tree. That is what the Light Grenade Tree is called. Luster having a little bit of problems with Sea Juggle here, it looks like. Oh, there's a lot of things on the ground here. Oh, geez. A lot of scary things going on Luster's screen, but, you know, looks like kind of made it through? Nope. Yeah, this is the unfortunate thing that happens in races. It happens to everyone at one point or another. And again, taking that frog there is also unfortunate. As Rin is wrapping up, getting the 5th health cell here and getting to the end of the game.
Yeah. I definitely feel for Luster right now. Every single run has the possibility for this to happen, for everything to go crumbling down. And it's so difficult to get back into it. He's doing his absolute best and is continuing with this Sea Juggle chain. Doesn't really have another option, having skipped the ability cell earlier, but is
Rin
making
going
his way
super safe
pretty
here.
high.
Wow. Getting another health. Oh, Luster. Unfortunate. You know, I think after Rin losing the PB pace run, making a lot of smart moves here, going into the end game, taking an extra safety health that we don't see very often, is just a way to ensure the victory, like get 100% guaranteed, like unless like, you know, the Rin's computer like just spontaneously combusted, there's like no chance that Rin loses this at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
First try door warp, very nicely done from Rin. Good job past Rin. Also, great job from current day Rin doing the restream here as well. Thank you very much, Rin.
Meanwhile, on Luster's side, we are seeing he did make it all the way up with Sea Juggle. Very well done. Unfortunately, was
No
out
energy.
of energy to break the plant for a little bit more experience. And if that's part of his main experience route, which it is, I believe, he'll have to find some other way of getting energy. But, oh, is this lore we're seeing from his side?
Oh, yeah. So there's nothing happy happening on either screen right now, so kind of just, you know, avert your eyes. As Rin coming up to the final grenade jump, we'll see. Doesn't get it the first try, doesn't get it the second try, but it does not matter. Taking the higher position, maybe that higher position will work, and it does. Rin taking this victory 2-0 in the semifinals.
Yeah. GG to Rin. just showing some incredibly fast movement, even faster than his last race here. Going to be a sub 29, as that last one was only a sub 30. Just phenomenally paced, and will be taking that pace to the finals, which will be happening, I believe, next week. But his opponent, we still have to decide that, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And while this match was pre-recorded, our next match will be live. So we have Dedue versus Ronnie, and that's going to be a very exciting matchup. Both of those are very close seeds in this tournament. Ronnie, being a past tournament victor and past tournament second place, it will be difficult for Dedue, but, over the years, Dedue has improved significantly to be able to make it to the semifinals against Ronnie. So, we'll see how both of those runners do coming up right after this race. And, again, Luster going to be finishing up here as well. I don't actually know the logistics of Restreamer being the victor here, and if we will be interviewing Rin. We'll see if Rin added his microphone to his OBS. But, we'll see that coming up a little bit later as Luster getting through here. Again, probably knowing that he's lost by now, but, it's okay. This is kind of the expected result with, taking another death there. Rin being that first seed there. Looks like Luster just gonna reload again. Kind of just resetting the mindset, really. Probably just wanting to finish out this run, despite all this spaghetti.
Yeah, absolutely, very, very commendable to finish out the run, especially with all the tricks that he knows and can show off, hopefully, like the Save Anywhere Siege Oil, which absolutely insane tech. Not able to get it this time, but even attempting it, just mind-boggling. So we'll be continuing down into Misty, another one of the very, very most technical, fastest sections of the run. Now that they have basically every skill, we'll be just charge dashing and canceling it, and charge dashing and canceling it to just fly through this area in inhuman speeds.
Yeah, and we'll see how Luster does here. So, we're going to be getting through Misty Woods. And, one of the things... Ooh, that is a big death there from Luster. That's really unfortunate. I don't know if Luster conceded here or not. But looks like Luster going to be powering through here. It's very dejecting once you know that the race is done. So it's very unfortunate to have your tournament life cut off in this way.
And we do, of course, see how Misty is such a dangerous area, even as fast as it goes. One wrong move, and you are all the way back up at the charge jump tree. That's the last place he saved, because who has time to play safety saves when you are charge dashing this quickly through this area, even as dangerous as it is. So he doesn't look to be placing an early safety save here again. Definitely can make it through. Looked like he took damage from that frog, but we'll continue on. Not taking
damage on the spikes. Then.
I hope he takes a safety save sometime soon. My heart cannot take this.
Luster at 2 health here, showing us one hit will kill you. And so, not even taking a save here at the cutscene, so still could be brought all the way back here again, but we'll see. Luster save? No, Luster not taking a save. It's all right. We're gonna make it through these spikes and making it to the tree. All right, just a little bit more, and whew. Now everyone can breathe out. All right, chat, remember to breathe as well. Everything is completely fine. Luster made it to the tree and will not die the rest of the run, right?
Well, unless he
intentional death, yeah.
Yeah. But just the presence of mind to keep going, even with the 2 health. He knew he had it. He showed his menu, still managing to get through that spike fall without dying. Oh my goodness, I absolutely would have been panicking, moving left and right, trying to drop every safety save possible. Oh.
Yeah. Now, Luster knowing that this race is completely sealed up, one of the things you can do as a second place runner in a race, for any future racers out there, you can try to do stuff that your opponent didn't do so you can look better than them. So we'll see if Luster tries to implement anything, fun and interesting going into the late portions of this run.
Now, since he did have that little earlier mishap with energy, not being able to break the plant, not being able to get the experience, there's a chance he does not level up here. Oh, he does get it. Okay, good. That means he will get full refill on his energy as he moves into Black Root, a section that once again requires some more saving to get some tricks down and to save anywhere in order to skip another very, very long cutscene. So being able to route his EXP to get that extra level up there is basically really, really required for high level play, and it's great that he managed it.
Yeah, and going into the final skill of the game, going back down to bash that lantern for some reason. Just for fun, But yeah, going to be getting Light Grenade here and wrapping up the game again. We'll see if Luster goes for any swag that Rin didn't do to look good here in the end portion of this race. Going for a save anywhere here. We didn't see Rin do this, so Luster gonna be showing off this longer save anywhere. And Rin had 0 energy going down to this area, so Rin having to go to the left side, Luster not having to go to the left, going to the right there, and then going to this cutscene skip. So very nicely done, Luster.
Yeah,
Showing off your skills versus Rin. That's right.
Luster just has absolute confidence in that save anywhere menu. You can slightly see through it, but it is very, very difficult. Luster might not even need to see. Just using muscle memory possibly, combined with a little bit of sight to just...
Who knows? The rest of this run
those.
Could be blindfolded. So, maybe Rin was doing this in the shower. So, Luster doing this blindfolded is more impressive.
Ori in the Blind Forest, quite literally.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, very nicely done from Luster being able to, cause the upset against Primorix and getting into the semifinals in the first place. Again, Luster is the 5th seed, so, a very respectable tournament run from Luster making it to the semifinals. Having to face the number 1 seed is not an easy feat for anyone, really. So, being able to, perform at such a high level throughout the tournament is very nicely done.
Yeah, Luster, there are a bunch of predictions from community members on the bracket. Luster is in the top 4 in quite a few of them, so definitely able to make it this far, proving his position in so many people's predictions. And will, again, be showing off a little bit more, skipping that extra health, so can be a little bit dangerous in the final swim, but will also be showing off once again that phenomenal new grenade jump setup, just skipping right through the center of Horu Fields, jumping and gliding his way through at the speed of sound to get to Horu Fields.
Yeah, and now going into Door Warp, we'll see if first try Door Warp happens. We've never seen anything but a first try in this entire tournament, and same here. Luster getting first try Door Warp, very nicely done. Going into the final escape, going to be trying to skip this initial cutscene and then do some blind movement to get through the beginning rooms here in the final escape. Luster doing an incredibly good job here.
Even in the final escape, there's still more blind movement from Luster in the area with the falling rocks and the insta-kill lava, just knowing exactly where everything is. Will be making his way to the swim. Again, has 5 health, so does need to do this pretty optimally with his fish bashes. There's 3 damage, 4 damage. Oh, and he makes it up and will skip the Kuro kill plane. And now all he has left to do... Don't get Sigma rocked.
My heart just jumped, I think, 5 times there. Oh, Luster, please.
What is this?
Oh, my heart cannot handle this.
But he is now setting up for and does get the final grenade jump. Doesn't take a death in that final escape, even with Sigma Rocks trying to kill him at every possible moment. Good Good work, Luster. Get
GG
that
Luster,
race.
getting that text box as well. Showing off all of this wonderful text in this game. Gonna be sealing up the, semifinals here with a 0-2 score, 38-minute time, but still a very impressive tournament run nonetheless by Luster. We'll see if Narug ends up jumping a bit here. Oh, I saw one. I saw two. All right. We saw two hops there. Very nicely
Very
done.
optimal.
38-19. Yeah.
And again, this was pre-recorded, so Luster right now is away from his mic, his computer, so we can't have him for an interview. But our restreamer, our winner of this race, is here for us, and it looks like we will be having Rin jump in for a few questions.
Yeah, so once Rin unmutes in Discord, then we'll be able to hear him, and Rin has set up a microphone as well, so you'll be able to hear the wondrous 2-0 victory voice of Rin, who has just won. Definitely hasn't known this result for a few more days. So hopefully, Rin will unmute soon, and then we'll be able to ask some questions about this race as well as our upcoming one.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to come out of the shower.
Thank you. All right, in all seriousness, Rin, you just took a 2-0 victory over Luster going into the finals. Again, this is a result that you've wanted, that you've been trying for since the tournament started. So, how are you feeling about entering the finals right now? And, what are your thoughts about, the races that you had against Luster?
Well, I'm feeling pretty proud of them, not gonna lie. Like, I'm really happy, especially about the second run. That run was actually PB pace up until Glide. I'm just really happy I also managed to play very strategically. I think I heard you mention that a few times, how I kept a cool head despite like losing a PB pace, which obviously is frustrating. Being like, okay, I won't get a PB, but at least I can get a win out of this. So I'm just gonna play hyper safe. I was considering not doing the final grenade jump just to cut out any possible risk ever.
Yeah, even if you had soft lock, you were still significantly far ahead, obviously. But you had some very nice plays, with the Sea Juggle Frog. Once that died, I thought that was a very brilliant play, just, floating up there afterwards. I think, taking it safe again, being able to watch your opponent and react to what is happening in the race is a very important skill, and I think you showed that off very nicely.
Yeah, that Sea Juggle was actually, like, the second Sea Juggle, I realized afterwards it was completely unnecessary, but, that was something that had never happened to me before in practice, so I was just like, okay, I killed the frog, what's the next logical thing to do? Just get another frog. And once I get the second frog up, I'm like, wait, I can't do the rocket jump because I don't know the laser cycle. I'm not taking that risk.
Yeah, yep. Very nicely played.
And something else that we definitely commented a bunch is potentially strategy involving watching the other runner. We definitely knew you said you were doing that. So when you're doing that, checking it sporadically through cutscenes, what's going through your mind as you're seeing them possibly behind you, or what do you do if they're ahead of you when you see them?
I don't think I've actually had a race where I was watching, because this is the first time I watched the opponent's first stream, and I was lucky enough to be ahead both times. But I was still pretty nervous either way, especially in game 1, as I mentioned, I'm always super nervous, so it was mostly just seeing, okay, he's behind, I got a head start, I got some buffer even if I mess up. That was what most of what was going through my mind when I was watching Luster's stream.
Okay, good to know. And then lastly, you are now making it to the finals to maybe watch during your race either Dedue or Ronnie in, again, the grand finals. Thoughts on your possible opponents in that match?
This is fine. I mean, like, Dudu and Ronnie are both excellent runners. Like, I don't even know who I should be more afraid of. Like, they're just incredibly good. I don't even know who will likely win the semifinal. It could really go either way. So, like, either way, it's probably just gonna give it my best, and whoever wins, wins.
Yeah, well, the absolute best of luck to you, and we will find out, in fact, who your opponent is in just about an hour and a half from now, as we move into our second semifinal of Dudu, the 3rd seed, versus Ronnie, the 2nd seed. Promises to be an amazing matchup. Again, so much skill and technical prowess in our semifinals, so definitely stay tuned for that. Again, in an hour and 30 minutes, we will see the other semifinal and see who Rin will be facing in the grand finals. Until then, though, I have been Turtle, commenting both games alongside 2Kill in the first and Richard in the second. Thank you both, as well as thank you to Fupio for being our tracker, showing us all the interesting data about times, as well as to our winner Rin for doing the restream for this race. Thank you all so much, and thank you all out there for watching. We hope to see you again very soon. Until then, bye-bye everyone.